Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to my little room, workshop, or whatever you want to call it. We're back here today. Absolutely piddling down outside, blowing a gale, blowing a hoolie. So I thought I'd try something new. As you know, my YouTube channel is called All the Gear and No Idea. I've got myself some Elegoo Rapid Petg. Never used Petg before. So we're going to try it on the, we'll try on first. We'll try it on the Elegoo first, because obviously that's what the brand of the new filament is. And then we'll do it on the Anycubic afterwards, or maybe both together. So we're going to learn as I go. So I'm going to have to feed some into the actual Ace, Anycubic Ace Pro there. I'll film that going in. Work out what we have to do. Never used it before, always used PLA Plus actually. So that's what we're going to do today. Plus, I've got some, let's show you here. I've got some different bases for the Anycubic, so we might try that as well. All right, first of all though, as always, tidy up this little pigsty. So I've got a little bit of room to move, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Well, I've tidied a little bit of room, just enough so I can get to both machines. This one at the moment, obviously this has got normal PLA in at the moment, so I'm going to change this over to the Petg. On the actual interface, I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you can, I'll zoom in a bit. All you have to do is click on Petg and I'll heat it up to that sort of temperature, and then I'll extract the PLA and insert, you see it better? Oh yeah, the Petg. That's what we're going to do first. I'll be back in a mo. I'll take this bit out first, and I'll be back showing you how to install the Petg. Well, that's the PLA out, or PLA Plus out. All you do, put it on the reel, feed it through the little sensor. What I do, I push it down as far as I can, pull that little out of it, push it right the way down till it can't go any further. A little bit of PLA comes out the bottom. Now hopefully get this up to temperature, and I'll feed on through where it says load. I'll press load, and that starts bringing that through. Do that a couple of times just to make sure it's coming through okay. That's one done, and then we'll crack on with this one here. Back in a sec. Now here we are now going to put some Petg into the Anycubic. Not done this obviously, but hopefully you can see that. Let's go back. So I've changed it now to Petg at the top, which is the material, and it's white, so I'll save that. Now I need to extract the white that's already in there. So I put on extract, and that should heat up the hot end, and then, well, I should be able to pull it out anyway. So I'll just wind this one back, the white, and I'll put in the Petg. All exciting stuff. So this one's heating up now to, I believe, about 250. I don't know why, because it probably thinks it's got the Petg in already. So what I'm going to do is just wind back the white. So what I do is just literally wind it back, just pulling it through the actual tube, and then I'll insert the Petg. Probably easier ways of doing this, but that's what I do. You can see it coming through the tubes anyway. Should be there in a minute. That's that. That's saying it's empty. I'll wind that up properly in a minute. Just put it in there for now. So those are the two that I've taken off the both printers. I'll find somewhere to store them. And I'll be back now to put in the PETG. There we go, just feed it into the orange hole, push it down so it grabs it, and then it'll start feeding itself. I can shut it up now. That's feeding itself in. It knows it's PETG on there. In fact, I will, yeah, PET, I don't know if you can see that now. Comes up saying PETG on the first one on the left, saying it's white. And now I just extrude. Please select material, extrude, and that's going to heat up, then push it through. It's heating up to 250, because obviously I presume that must be the temperature of PETG, and we'll go from there. You'll see it coming through there in a minute. Back in a bit. Trying to get to see the screen, what I can see. Literally it says preheating, retracting filament, extruding filament, extrude finished. Sometimes you might have to do this twice, but once it gets up to 250, it'll start feeding it from the ace over here. Let's do that now. So that'll come through the tube. I think it'll be coming through this one, I believe. I think. Oh, no, it's coming through the one at the back. It's coming through this one along there. That'll feed it into the hot end, and it'll start feeding itself out with any luck. You see that? I'm sure you can. Yep. Pushing it through. Pushing out the black, because obviously black was in there first. I'll put it down there like so. It says extruding filament, which I can see it's filling out. I don't know if I can get you down there, but the light's pretty poor. See the white there? There we go. So now we've got the PETG in there. And then we'll try and find a file. I don't know what happens where it alters the temperature itself, but we'll go from there. And obviously we'll try the same on the Elegoo. Back in a bit. Well, here we are back downstairs. What I'm going to do, I'll just change what I'm using is orca slicer. Just change the actual Elegoo to the Elegoo generic PETG, and it looks like that kind of alters, I don't know if you can see that, alters the temperature. I think it goes up to about 240. First layer 240, and the bed temperature is 70. So that's definitely a change there. So what I'll do, I'll just get a generic, well, what should I put? Let's add something here. Maybe do a Christmas tree. So if it works, it works. So it doesn't. Go on to C drive, Christmas tree, Christmas tree. So we'll just print Christmas tree in white. PETG. We'll slice that. Just do everything as standard. See what happens. I'll take off the brim, or this thing here, because I don't think it will need it. So we go into others, brim, auto. I will take the brim off and reslice it. So I think it probably stick to the bed quite severely, I expect, at those sort of temperatures. So I'll leave it like that. Might have to update my IP address for my printer upstairs, but that's where we go. We go to here, I believe. Change that to okay. There we go. Now we got upstairs. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not quite sure what you can see at the moment. Let's have a look. Screen capture. No. No. You can't see what I'm seeing, but anyway, that is. I'm going to send this upstairs now and see what happens, and then we'll come back and I'll do the one for the Anycubic. Just up here, we go print, upload print. I'll send it upstairs now. We'll go upstairs and make sure we're in a big pile of Petg on the floor. Okay, be back in a bit. Well, here we go. Same scenario. I'm using the Anycubic slicer. As you can see, it's upgraded or updated the and it's synced with the printer upstairs. So now it's saying it's in slot 1. It's Petg. I've got the same Christmas tree. I'm just going to slice that. I'm not going to change any settings. Leave it as it is. Don't want a brim, so I'll take the brim off. Slice it. I don't know what temperature is going to set it at or anything. It's a bit of like a press and see what happens. And there we go. We'll remote print. That's going to go upstairs. Going to use slot 1, which is Petg, and start the print. I think it says take about 2 hours. I want to say 2 hours, but you never know. That's sent it upstairs. Put me over to the workbench. I don't know if you can see the workbench, but now it's gone on the workbench. It's telling me the temperatures here, hopefully. Let's have a quick look. You can't see a picture. Yeah, temperature is going to go up to, it always goes up to about 170 first of all, moves about. 60 for the bed, but that should change before it starts printing. But like the other one, I'll go upstairs now and show you what's going on upstairs. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. The next time you see me, I'll be upstairs. There we are, back upstairs. It's off and running. I'm trying to get you a picture of that, but you can't really see the screen, unfortunately. I'll try and work out a better way of doing that. But it's going up to, we're checking the bed level. It says 170. It's cleaning the end off, as it does. PLA in 1, not PLA, PLA in 3, 4 and 5, Petg in the first one. I'm going to go back down to 140 for some reason, the hot end. Don't know, we'll work this out as we go along. See what happens. If it don't work, it don't work. If it does, I'll show you. That one there's cracking on over there. I will be back upstairs in a mojo. See what happens with this one. One's doing something. It's still preparing. It says preheating 98%. Must know what it's doing. If not, I have to change a few settings and we'll go from there. Okay, back in a bit. Well, I just noticed on the this one here is printing at 220 for the hot end and 60 for the bed. I would have thought that should be hotter than that, but we'll see what happens with the standard settings. It's definitely set to Petg, so I click on the filament. It comes up saying that filament 1 is Petg, so I don't know what's going on with there, and I sliced it as Petg, so we'll see what happens. This one here says it's 240 and 70. That seems to be working fine. This here looks like it's coming out a little bit not melted enough, so I'll give it, try to see what it does on the first layer. If it doesn't work, I'll stop it, go downstairs and see what it says on the slicer. Okay, I'll leave it for a bit. If not, I'll be back in a bit. Well, I just changed it myself, so it's warming up now to 250 and 70, just to see if that makes any difference. If it does, we might have saved it, save starting again. But as you see, it's a little bit not melted enough on the first little bit there, so see what happens. I will come back if any different. But surely I would have thought it should be hotter than PLA. Try that, 250 and 70. Well, the Elegoo's performing well at the moment, as you can see. Lovely print. What I might do, I used orca slicer to prepare that one, as you see. I think Anycubic now has got an orca slicer setting, or a version of orca slicer which I could possibly use, so I might try that. Because it looks a little bit rough and ready at the moment. Can you see that? I'll leave it do the first layer, see how it goes. But I'll get back down and see what the slicer says on the orca slicer version for the Anycubic. Okay, back in a bit. Well, I'm not very happy with this at the moment. As I don't even see, but it's quite rough and ready. On the actual machine, it's gone back now to 210. Still the bed is 70. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to re-slice it, making sure that the filament temperature settings are set correct. So at the moment it's not set right, and we'll try again. This one is nice and smooth, but like I say, the temperature for that is like 240, and the bed is 70. So what I'll do the same, I'll do that 240 and 270. Okay, I'm gonna stop this and I'll be back in a bit. Well, back again downstairs. What I'm going to do, or what I have done, is I'm using the same software, the Anycubic software, but changing the settings for the Petg. You click on it now. Oh, sorry. I'll save it as it is. Copy. Okay. So basically, what it is now, it is. Let's go back to temperature. The temperature. Oh, let's change it back again. I don't know why it keeps changing it back. Let's go back. Let's shut that down a minute. Go here. Must have a setting. Copy Ptg. That's right. Let's look at it. I'll set it now to 240 and 70 constant. I've also, somebody said about cooling, I've reduced the cooling because obviously we don't want it to cool down too quick. So I've knocked that down to 80%. So I'm hoping we can slice it with those settings. Slice it now. And we'll try again. Send that upstairs. Export. Wrong thing, sorry. That's back to remote print, sorry, not export. Send it upstairs, Petg, and let's see what happens this time. Still about 2 hours 40, so quite a while, but off we go. That's doing it the draft settings. I will be back in a bit upstairs. Well, that's heating up to 240 now, so heating up 240 and the bed is 70. So see if we have any luck with that. We will be back in a bit. But this one here, like I say, the Elegoo is coming out quite nicely, as you can see. Alright, and like I say, that's doing 240 and 70. So we'll try the same with this one. 240 and 70. Fingers crossed. They're peeled off okay, and I'll show you a bit. It's a bit lumpy. See that? I think it's obviously due to the temperature. First layer seemed fine, but not great. So we'll try it now with the correct temperature, and see if we get a better result. Okay, I will send the slice up from downstairs and I'll be back in a bit. Well, as we can see on the picture now, we've got both printers printing with Petg. The Anycubic now is holding its setting at 240, so temperature for the hot end is 240, and the bed is 70 on both machines, and they seem to be coming out reasonably well. So I'll leave you with that for a few minutes, and I'll go back upstairs when it's all finished. I don't know if I can zoom in. Let's have a look so I can zoom in for you. Don't think I can. Zoom in a bit. But yeah, both working with Petg. Like I say, the Anycubic, even though I listed it as Petg, it's still kept the same temperatures as the PLA. So you just have to alter that manually. Well, that's what I had to do with the software I'm using. Maybe if you use a different software, it'd be a different scenario. But anyway, I'll leave that running. I think it's about 2 hours in total, and I won't record this for 2 hours. I'll switch it off now, and I'll come back upstairs when it's all finished. Right, thanks again for watching this, and I'll catch you in a bit. Back again. Well, this one is almost finished on the Elegoo. That's got about 8 minutes left, I think it says, 8 or 6. That's looking rather special. Not bad at all from a first attempt. Not having so much luck with the Anycubic. A little bit rough down the bottom, but we'll see how it finishes off. I think I'm going to need a few different tweaks and settings, but I'll leave that to finish anyway. Let's see what time that's got left to do. It's got about an hour and 15, I think it says. Hour and 15. So yeah, I'll read up about the settings for the Anycubic. But it's coming out, it's getting the shape there, but layers not so pretty. Okay, I'll be back up again when they're both finished. Well, that's the Elegoo, the tree finished for the Elegoo. Not fantastic. I mean, I don't know much about this material. It seems quite flexible. I mean, it's got its benefits, I presume, but I don't think I really need to use Petg. But it comes out perfectly well on the Elegoo. You can see a bit stringy. I've burnt some of the stringiness off, but not too bad at all. But yeah, like I say, quite flexible, more so than PLA, I presume. But I've just cancelled the one on the Anycubic. It had about an hour to go, and it's not fantastic. As you can see, quite ripply in there. See if I can zoom in. Would have come out okay-ish, but I'm not going to be able to use this tree for anything because of the size of it. But I think I need to tweak the settings for the Anycubic, definitely. Zoom out a bit, there we go. So yeah, Elegoo Neptune, no problem at all, but I don't think I need Petg at all for anything I'm doing at the moment, but I've got it there if I need it. And the Anycubic Cobra 3, I will get this off the bed in a minute. It's pretty stuck fast. I don't think I'll be using it on there unless I work out some settings, best settings for it. Okay, that was my little project for now. I think I'll put the PLA back in here and I'll print off a bigger tree so I can make one like that. Hope you're all having fun, people. I'll catch you again on my next video. Bye for now. Well, just a little bit of an update before I do leave you. I did go downstairs and check a few settings, and I did try the other slicer. It's called Anycubic Slicer Next. So I installed that on the PC downstairs, connected to the printer, basically to do 2 firmware updates, one for the printer itself and then one for the actual ACE unit. So I've done the 2 updates. Then I just used the slicer software as the basic, what's it called again? Petg setting in the slicer, and it came out perfectly fine. Obviously a little bit of stringing, but I've read that you do get a bit of stringing now with Petg. Basically that's a base of one of these, and that come out fine. So, you know, all in all, I'm happy. I mean, I did try with the original slicer software. It came out, but a little bit, I'd say, under extruded or a bit bumpy. I don't know if I can show you a bit closer. You see there, it's got some bumps in it. Not very good at all. Not very good at all compared to what I was doing on the Elegoo. Nice and smooth, and obviously now you see in there that's also nice and smooth. So I think the settings, I think it put it down, it kept the bed at 70 degrees, but I think it reduced the hot end to 230, and I left it as it was. So yeah, that's just a bit of an update. You can do Petg on the Anycubic Cobra 3, no problem at all, but I would suggest using the new Anycubic Slicer Next software. I'll have a little bit of a play with that tomorrow and maybe do a video on that. But there you go, it did work eventually. Alright, see you again tomorrow. Bye for now. And there you go, I pulled it off. Base nice and smooth. Like I say, little bits of stringing, but nothing serious. Everything's fine. Those bits always stay on there because obviously that's the bits of like the D and the B and the A. But excellent. I will upload this now and hopefully enjoy it. Any questions, please ask, and I'll catch you again soon.